Welcome back to the Guitar Learning Show. I'm Kevin.
I'm Bob, and today we're going to talk about the JHS Flight Delay pedal. We're going to put it through its paces, show you what it can do, show you all the different kinds of sounds it's capable of generating. It's a great pedal, and we think you're going to really enjoy it.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to do first?
So the Flight Delay pedal is a new delay pedal from JHS. It's a very full-featured pedal without getting into a lot of the presets and separate app stuff that some of the more elaborate delay pedals can end up having. It gets a tremendous number of different tones, has some modulation effects. We're going to walk through all of that. It has three types of delay: analog, digital, and reverse delay. It has several different repeat patterns that you can use. It also has some modulation effects that you can work in. And we're going to show you how you can actually use that to take the place of a modulation pedal if you need to. So first thing we want to do is kind of walk through the different controls that are on it. So the pedal is available in two different color schemes. One is white on white, so white buttons on a white enclosure. This is the other one, which is blue with the yellow knobs. It has several different controls. There is a mix that lets you control the mix of your dry signal, which is just your regular guitar tone, with the delay effect. The repeat is the number of times that the delay is going to actually repeat. You can keep it really short or make it stretch way out.
That way out is infinity.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll demonstrate it, but it gets a little crazy.
It probably gets out of control fast.
Pretty much, yeah.
And we will deliberately get it out of control at least a few different ways. We'll see what goes on here. The subdivision toggle lets you set either a quarter note delay, an eighth note delay, or a dotted eighth note delay. So the delay modes are analog, this is a filtered analog style, bucket brigade style. So the original delays were what they call a bucket brigade circuit. And that is, just think of the, before the days of fire hydrants and fire hoses, people pulling water up from the well, passing a bucket down the line of people in order to try to put out a fire. That's the model of it. And one of the things to keep in mind with that is, as people are passing these buckets of water, some stuff is spilling out. And the delay kind of works the same way. It's not a perfect representation of what you've just played. There's a little bit of loss. There's a little bit of just kind of analog warmth that gets added to it. A digital delay is the opposite of that. That is strictly a digital delay. It is a copy of what you just played with no loss. You can adjust the tone and such, but it doesn't have...
they're very precise.
It's very precise, very precise. And then a reverse delay. Now this is inspired by like the classic Dan Electro backtalk pedal or the Line 6 DL4 reverse mode. And in that situation, it plays the delay in reverse. There's also some modulation controls. So you can add some modulation effects, chorus or vibrato, to your repeat trails. So it gives you just kind of some interesting effects. And we'll show you how, like I said in the beginning, we can kind of tweak the settings a little bit and actually turn it into a chorus pedal. It has a tap tempo. If you're not familiar with tap tempo, if you're not real familiar with delay pedals, a tap tempo lets you tap, it's the right-hand button, at the tempo of the song you're about to play. And then that will set the timing of your delay repeats. And you can use an external button for that, like the JHS red button.
Sure.
For something like that. Depending on how you have it, you usually do that, like depending on how your board is set up. So if your delays, in this case, like in the back row, you could actually put the red button in the front row, make it easier to use. So the left foot switch turns the effect on or off, and the right foot switch controls the tap tempo. So let's just kind of start going through some of what it can do.
Okay.
Right now, let's just try the clean tone, just a little bit. So this is the pedal is off. This is just the guitar through the board into the amp.
So that's clean.
So that's clean. And so the first delay effect we want to show is just a traditional slapback delay. If you're not familiar with the slapback delay, it's a one or a very low number of repeats that happen very quickly after your original note. It really just serves to fatten things up. So I have the mix at about 10 o'clock. I have the time down around, if you're looking at a clock, say 8 o'clock, and we'll turn it on.
Want to go off again, and then we'll go back on? It's subtle, but I mean, I hear it fattening up a little bit.
Yeah, and you can turn the mix up a bit, and that will bring the delay in a little more.
Yeah, that brings it in a lot more, actually.
Yeah, so, and like I said, a slapback, along with some reverb, a slapback delay can really fatten up your tone and get you a lot more out of it.
Yeah, it fattens the tone without giving it, like any overdrive or distortion.
Right.
Which, normally for a little fatter tone, I'd either be using a humbucker or maybe going to a light overdrive. But without doing that, it still gives you a very clean sound.
Right.
But it's a nice thick,
Exactly. So
warm tone.
think about it from the style of a lot of country players or a lot of situations where you want a big sound but you're playing very clean.
Yeah.
A slapback helps for something like that. So what we would do then is turn up the repeats. And now what this is doing is your notes will repeat out further. Instead of just being a single delay right away, this is still close, but you'll start to hear it stretches out. So that stretched it out a bit. We have it right now, we have the subdivision set at quarter note. So if you think about, just like playing a song, quarter note is going to have kind of a subdivision pattern of 1, 2, 3, 4 after you play the original note. We can switch it to an eighth note. Let's contrast that sound with the digital. So a little brighter. I find digital delays a little harsher, but that's just me. I like kind of the warmth of the analog delay, but that's a digital delay effect. Let's try a little reverse delay.
Let's hit the dotted eighth first.
Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do some dotted eighth, digital, dotted eighth.
Not to ruin the program.
No.
I love the sound of that.
I do too. So one thing I wanted to point out, if you're not very familiar with delay pedals, is when we talk about time and tempo and subdivisions, the time is the amount of time before the first note of delay kicks in. So if we turn the time way down, just a couple notes. And then if we turn it way up, and then the tempo is the pace of the repeat. So you can see that the tap tempo light is flashing very slowly. If I, let's say, speed that up a little bit, and then so the repeats are moving much faster. Okay. So let's take a look at.
Before we do that,
Yeah.
let's do an infinite number of
Oh yeah, let's do
repeats
that.
just for fun.
Sure.
We're going to do an infinite number of repeats just so you can hear how it sounds.
Yep. So you can, yeah, you get a feedback after a while, right? We're sitting fairly close to the amp, but you know, as the repeats keep going, it's setting up vibrations in the guitar. The feedback loop starts, and yeah, it goes. But yeah, you can get completely out of hand with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't we take a look at a little more? You did kind of a dotted eighth with a digital. Let's go back to kind of an analog.
Okay.
And beats down a little there.
Oh, a little percussive. Why not?
Yeah. And much like a reverb, that's a great way to set your delay, is doing exactly like that, because you can hear just what your delay is doing, and you can get your delay set the way you want, as opposed to try to hear it over the notes and such that you're playing. Why don't we try a reverse delay?
Okay. That'd be in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, there's the delay.
Yeah, the middle switch in the middle. Yep.
Yep, we had that one in quarter note.
That is really cool.
It is, and I completely misspoke when I described a reverse delay at the beginning. It does not start up quite. It doesn't start tapered. It actually takes your signal, your original signal, and when it repeats it, it has reversed it completely.
Yeah.
That's what's the Beatles song? I'm Only Sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly that type of
Yep.
effect.
That is, and yes, and that was the effect in that
Yeah.
song.
Okay.
Now I have to learn that song.
Well, reverse delay is one of those things that you're not going to use a lot, but it's a great effect if you're looking for something like a weird intro or something atmospheric, or it's just a very cool.
Yeah,
vibe,
you're having
for
a
lack of
rough day and
yeah.
just need a big smile. I mean, jeez, that's a great effect.
It really is. What do we want to talk about? We want to talk about the modulation.
Yeah, let's talk about the modulation
Okay.
by itself, and then we'll add it to some of the delay and play with it a little bit that way.
Yeah, and that's very cool about having a pedal that has a mix, a delay pedal with a mix knob, because you can either have the delay effect be very slight, or you can just actually get rid of, or mostly get rid of your dry guitar signal and only have the delay. That's how you get volume swells.
Sure.
Right? You take your dry signal out, you have a long delay, and then as you bring you hit the note and you bring the volume up. So, okay.
And one of the things that I really love about this pedal, and I've been playing with it now for probably about 6 weeks, and I love that it is so easy to set everything up.
Yeah.
It's very intuitive, and yeah, it's just simple.
Yeah, it's very easy for delay pedals get really complicated. I have I'm not going to say which pedal it is, but I have a delay reverb. It's mostly on me, but it has a bit of a learning curve. And as a result, I don't use it that much.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
However, I personally prefer there to be a little less of a learning curve, which is, crazy considering the looper pedal that I own. But hey.
But yeah, you invest your time in learning what you want to learn, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So the modulation, it adds a chorus or a vibrato. It has both options in here to the repeats itself. So you can have it just be kind of a cool repeat effect, or turn your mix way up, get rid of your dry signal, and turn it almost more into a straight chorus pedal. So
yeah, so let's do that with the chorus, and then after that we'll mix the delay in with it.
Sure. Okay. So we will start with the mix up. We're going to keep the time low because we don't. Actually, I'm going to turn the time off because you don't want
as little delay as possible.
Right. If we're trying to use it as a chorus pedal, we want as little delay as possible. I have it on analog. I have it on quarter note tempo, and we will put it in. And then there's two modulation controls. There's the depth of the modulation and then the rate of the modulation effect. I have those both just set at 12.
Okay. All right. All right, that's cool.
All right. Yeah, let's just switch it. All the same settings. Let's go to vibrato and see how the vibrato sounds. I'll go back to chorus, and we will put the depth and the rate back at 12, and let's bring the mix down a bit. Cool. Now let's, I'll go back to chorus, and we will put the depth and the rate back at 12, and let's bring the mix down a bit. Turn the repeats up a little, and give us a little more time on here. Use it more as a, just kind of modulating the delay.
Okay.
Great. It just sounds great. And
It's a really nice pedal.
it's very easy to get going. Let's just go to extremes here. Let's turn the repeats up, put the mix about the middle, the time in the middle. I got it on a reverse. Love it on chorus. Let's just get weird.
All right.
Yeah. And it will keep going. So what I was kind of trying to show there for a minute, what I was doing is I was moving the mix knob between very wet and very dry, and you can get away with a little bit of weirdness in your delay repeats if you keep your mix mostly dry.
Okay.
You know, if you get really wet and it's mostly the delay, it almost becomes hard to play because you keep hearing these delay notes are playing. You're hearing your note and things, but those get out of control. But I think if you can really experiment with delay using that mix by, trying different effects, trying things the way you like it, and just, mixing the delay in a little bit. Because one of the things I encountered when I was first starting out is I hated my delay pedal for the sole purpose or the sole reason that I had to live with my mistakes longer. You hit a bad note, it's just going, but if you can use that mix knob to your advantage. The delays can be there, keep them a little lower, get comfortable with it, use it as a slapback to fatten up your tone. There's a lot of stuff you can do if you're getting started with delay. And this is a fantastic pedal to do it because this could literally be the only delay pedal you ever need.
So my first delay pedal was a Boss, I think it was a DD2, and that broke. And so I went through this. I don't know what I want. Do I want to, combine reverb delay or something else?
Right.
So, P.S. I ended up with it's right over there with the blue knobs on the top, the Fender.
Oh,
if you would grab that one.
Yeah, right. The Fender. This is their Hammer Tone series.
Exactly, which works really well, and it has. You're able to dial in a lot of things. You're able to still dial in like dotted eighths and stuff like that. But it's
a straight digital delay, right?
Yeah. So P.S. I didn't use this a ton, but this one I found that I've been using it a lot more.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to with a lot of pedals, right? You can buy the pedal that everybody is saying is the best pedal out there, and if it doesn't connect with the way you play or the way you learn to use a pedal, your level of experimentation that you want to do, the learning curve you want to put up with, you'll never touch it.
Yeah. It's got to create some sounds that you're interested in playing, songs that you like to play, and then just sounds that you're just making and having fun with. So.
Yeah, sounds that make you want to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and of course, pick up your guitar and play it.
Absolutely.
But yes, the like and subscribe is important. We'd appreciate that. Thanks. So,
Do you have any closing thoughts?
to Josh Scott, when you watch this, we love the pedal. It's awesome. As you can see from my board, I am enjoying several of your pedals, so thank you. I would say if you're interested in a delay pedal that has a decent amount of versatility without it being just overwhelming,
Yep.
this is really a great pedal.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying it. I highly recommend it.
It might wind up on my board.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
No, you could do a lot worse. But yeah, it's for me, it's just the ease of use. You know, it's everything's right there. Immediate response to changing the settings. You can dial in exactly what you're after very quickly and very easily.
Which is great. It's really handy.
Absolutely.
And Josh mentions in his video that one of the things that he really thinks is valuable for a gigging musician is being able to have a little bit of versatility, but not so much that you can't make adjustments while you're on stage doing things. So that was one of the thoughts that went into him building this pedal.
Yeah, and I think that also applies for beginners. If you're just starting with guitar, just starting with pedals, having too many options, having too much stuff to mess with can keep you from just...
It's overwhelming.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
keep
overwhelming.
you from progressing.
Right, it keeps you from progressing. It keeps you from using the pedal. It keeps you from exploring the different sounds that it can make because it's just too much.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, fantastic pedal.
Yeah.
Okay. We hope you enjoyed this, and we hope you enjoyed the pedal. They are available through JHS. There's a bit of a delay right now. I was looking at their website because after hearing it, I wanted to see how quickly I can get one. But there is a bit of a delay because they are quite popular.
And then they're also available through a bunch of third-party resellers who may have them in stock.
Right. Yeah. You might get lucky.
I fortunately bought several of my JHS pedals during the Black Friday sale, which went on for about a month.
Yeah.
And it was 25% off of almost everything they put out.
That's a great deal.
So I think I ended up with 4 or 5 different pedals, and I'm really happy with that purchase. So
great.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. Really appreciate you watching.
And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
Thank you.